The Walking Dead Season 11 has officially come to an end, and with that, so has the main series, The Walking Dead, has now officially ended after 12 full years of being on television. It is now done and dusted. It's all over. So obviously we know there's going to be spin-offs coming left, right, and center from the main storyline, but the actual main storyline with the characters we know and love has now officially done. Now I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts on Season 11 as a whole. What did I think? Was it a good closing season? Was it a great season finale? You're going to hear my thoughts, but let me know in the comments below your thoughts. Smash it down there. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this review of Season 11 right now. Okay, so Season 11 has officially done with The Walking Dead done. Like, this has been around for 12 years. 12 years of my life. Almost 50% of my life has been with The Walking Dead. I have loved this series from the first season. When I saw it, I fell in love. I loved the zombie idea. I loved all that. So I naturally fell in love with this whole entire series for a long, long time. After the Negan stuff, I felt like it might have fallen off. I gave it like, a year. I sat back and went, okay. And then got back into it when the later seasons come in. And it actually surprised me how good the later seasons were getting. Because, you had a few seasons here and there where you kind of like, okay, this is a bit dragging out here. Do we need to do this bit? But overall, I was really enjoying it. So, coming into Season 11, I still don't agree with them taking a break halfway through the season. Like, I don't think they needed to do that. If anything, that kind of annoyed me a lot more. And it kind of hinders the experience of watching it week to week, because then you have this massive gap, and then you come back for these next, like, 6-8 episodes, and I'm kind of like, did they really need to do that? No, they didn't. But they did. So anyway, so the first part of Season 11, absolutely, I really enjoyed. I loved it. There's one particular episode where they're in the mansion. The death girl is in the mansion, and you had those horror elements, like these humans that are like whack and scary. Like, there were some really good horror movie elements in that episode, and that was one of my favorite episodes of this season. I loved it. As for the Commonwealth as a villain, I thought they were effective with what they were trying to do. It really worked. Pamela was a great villain. I enjoyed her. Hornsby was great as well. I enjoyed that whole aspect of the Commonwealth. Yes, it feels like what the governor had. Yes, it feels similar to Negan's sort of group as well. But I thought it was executed quite well. Now, there are some all other things here that I really did like as well. I love the character development that we have throughout, especially Negan and Maggie's relationship. That whole thing that was happening, I really enjoyed that quite a lot. Negan had become one of my favorite characters after this whole season. I absolutely loved the way where he started to where he is now. Fantastic. His relationship with Maggie was fantastic. Daryl had some hard-hitting things to do as well that I loved. I mean, Daryl's my favorite character, so I loved his arc as well. And that arc that he took on being the parent that Judith needed was absolutely fantastic as well. There are so many other characters that I enjoyed as well. Some of the new characters. Mercer, for instance, loved his character. Thought he was fantastic. Eugene was great. I mean, there's so many great characters in this season that I absolutely love that had great character arcs. That some of them closed off, which I was satisfied with. Some people's arcs were closed, and I was satisfied with that. But there are some other ones where I'm kind of scratching my head a bit like, okay, they're definitely not fully solved yet, and that's because we're getting the Daryl spinoff. We know that. We're getting the Rick and Michonne one as well. I'm pretty sure we're getting a Negan and Maggie one as well. I think maybe Carol might be getting one as well. I'm not 100% sure about that one. But there are so many things that could have... You could tell by the finale that they were setting up spin-offs. You could tell that. There wasn't as much casualties as I thought there was going to be in the finale. I thought there was going to be a lot more casualties, but there wasn't. We did lose some characters throughout this season, which is, it's Walking Dead. You're supposed to lose characters, and that's what gives you the stakes. Now, some of the things that I absolutely loved as well was the idea of the walkers evolving. And that happens in this season. It's in the later season here, in the last few episodes, where the walkers start to climb. They start to pick up weapons. They start to become a bit more aware of what's happening. I like that concept. My only issue with that concept is, where was this 3 seasons ago? This is something that you could have brought in 3 seasons ago, because I felt like we just like they've given you a little taste here of like, oh look, the walkers are evolving. And it's like, bro, we've got like 3 episodes left. Why? Why are you bringing this storyline in? This is a storyline that could have been in 3 seasons beforehand, which would have made it a lot more interesting as well. Seeing them having to deal with walkers that can now climb, that can now use weapons, that can break windows. That changes the whole scenario of everything that we know about this world. And I like that. I just felt like it was introduced way too late for me. So that's a pro and a con in itself. I feel like, come on. As for the season finale itself, I do have some issues with it. One, it felt very rushed. I must say it felt very rushed. I felt like there's so much more to this season finale that they just didn't add. They had to chop up to fit into the 1 hour mark. And it just went so quick. Like, things were happening. Like, oh, we're in the day, we're here, we're night, day and night. I'm like, dude, everything's moving so quick compared to the rest of the season. I thought the pacing for the season was quite good. There has been some seasons where it's been paced awfully and you felt like it was dragging out. This wasn't one of them. This was paced out quite well, and I was very much immersed in the story and the conflict that was going on with the Commonwealth and our group that we know from Hilltop and Alexandria. Like, the pacing was great, but then the season finale come, and I just felt like this was just like bam, 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 bam. No room to breathe whatsoever. Characters that we were meant to feel for, they died, and then it's like move on to the next scene. So it felt like they didn't allow for scenes to breathe at all, emotional moments to breathe at all, and that for me hindered the finale. Okay, so if you guys haven't seen it now, I'm going to go into a bit of spoilers for the season finale, alright? So you've been warned, the spoiler will come up here. If you guys haven't seen it, go and watch it and then come back. But if you don't care, then whatever. If you've seen it, then here we go. Okay, spoiler warning right now. I'm sorry, but that tease of the Rick Grimes and Michonne stuff was not satisfying at all. I mean, how the hell are you going to end The Walking Dead without Judith seeing Rick? How are you going to end without Daryl and Rick coming back together? I just felt like this was primed and ready for Rick to come back. Like, this story started with Rick. And I get it. You want to do the spin-offs and that. But I feel like the spin-off needed to come way earlier so you can tie it into the finale here. Because this finale, while I think it is decent, could have been so much better. And you could have tied a bow on the Rick Grimes storyline right here, right now, where he comes back with Judith. Where he comes back with Daryl. Where he comes back with everyone else. It was there. It was primed and ready. This whole idea, we knew the Rick stuff was coming. We thought it was going to be movies. It was announced years and years and years ago. That should have been a story on the side that should have been going while the main storyline's going on, and then met in the finale here. They should have met in the finale, and that would have been a satisfying conclusion. To me, this just felt unfinished. The Walking Dead Season 11 finale felt unfinished. I felt like I want more. When they do the tease with the Michonne and stuff like that, I'm like, this is basically you just saying, hey, look guys, we are getting this series that should have already been years ago. That should have been running with this timeline. No, that's not how you do it. And this whole finale ending bit was them just being like, oh, look, Daryl's going on his own. This is going to be the Daryl spin-off. It's like, no, just give me conclusions here. You could have tied this in such a good bow. It could have been great. I mean, you started with Rick. You gotta end it with him as well. Like, it could have been like that, and then you can do your spin-offs. Then you can do that. I mean, we're never gonna see Negan and Rick interact again. Like, we're never gonna see that again. I felt like I deserve to see that. Like, especially with everything that's happened. Negan's out. Negan's been protecting Judith now. I want to see the interaction with Rick. Never gonna see that. I want to see the interaction with his son and daughter. I want to see that reaction. I want to see what happens when Michonne comes back. I want to see Daryl's reaction when he meets Rick. Because remember, he had that moment where he went out searching for him and he felt like he couldn't find him and it was on him. There are so many unfinished plot lines here that I felt like if you just did the Rick storyline on the side or with the main timeline, you could have tied it off in the bow in the finale and it would have been much more satisfying. But instead, we got a rushed finale, which I don't understand why they did that. Rushed finale with some unsatisfying conclusions to certain characters, with them showing, hey, look, here comes a spin-off. So yeah, overall, I like season 11. I don't think it's the strongest season. I still think there's a lot more stronger seasons in here, but it's a decent season. Has its great moments. Has some really really fun horror elements throughout that I really enjoyed. Some good concepts that I thought we introduced too late, and the whole finale not tying it and being a bit unsatisfied. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of season 11 and Walking Dead as a whole? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down there. Smash that like button for me and click subscribe as well. Without further ado, I'll see you guys next video. Till then, stay safe. Peace out.